Dust2.
Alright, straight into the pistol will be Chiefs starting on that CT side, because like you did highlight, Kev, it will be the Renegades choosing that T side. They're going to be dueling towards long. A lot of pressure on Vexite here in combination with Offnu. Flashes coming out.
Yeah, is that a smoke on the corner? Another flashbang. Even then, Offnu still challenging, and Vexite started off nice and well early on. Some nice crossfires. Actually, it's going to be the CTs up ahead. Wow. That's a clean pistol round from the Chiefs. Offnu with a triple.
Wow. Getting that CT side started very, very nicely. Getting the money rolling, be able to get the AWP.
And I think this is really, like, one thing I wanted to say is that the difference between Offnu when he left Avant to where he is right now, he is one of those linchpin players for Chiefs on the stage. No longer is he going to be that support of the IGL. He's going to be that star player again, I feel like. And this is the danger of that Chiefs roster. A lot of individuals that can take and win these duels against Renegades. But obviously, it's nice and early on.
They've got some aggressive rifling power on this squad, which is what I like. You have, you know, Vexite, Zeph, Offnu, all can go out there and get them a multi-frag, be a little bit more on the aggressive side. Some teams, too many passive players, but not this Chiefs roster, at least not from what I've seen, which has been somewhat limited. Either way, it is the force buy from Renegades. They're going to try to get straight back into this game, and they do chuck a smoke on Xbox and go straight up Cat.
IPOC, though, playing a bit of an off angle, does very well to tag them down. Nice little nade as well, just to delay the push. Not too much damage done for now. But it's going to pull the rotate out from long. So Vexite just going to be tasked holding onto that bedroom corridor. A lot of time for Renegades to work with, but they've used their utility nice and early on. Only a smoke and a couple of flashbangs left.
They go into the bomb site, never mind. They've actually dropped down into CT spawn, but not too problematic for Chiefs until Sicko and Hats chime in. Now it's back to a 3-on-3. It looked good for Chiefs. Renegades now have a bomb plant down. They are in a 2-on-3 post plant, and that's workable, particularly with Sicko having a scout in hand, into Deagle. These are sharp players, but apparently Soju's pretty sharp as well, and it's on to ins, 1-on-3.
Yeah, he's in the wrong position as well. That's a huge issue at this stage. And you actually have Zeph just sitting there, just challenging him. So this is a very extended duel. Not going to work for either party.
Yeah.
I think it's best to cop that armor, take it into the next round.
4 HP is apparently the breaking point there. To stop ins re-peaking and re-challenging. Renegades, after losing that force buy, they will have to take a single save, but at least they did get the bomb down. That's going to assist them in continuing to purchase up a couple of pistols, maybe trying to do a little bit more damage.
A fair bit of utility, though, invested in here by Renegades, and Dexter's got some armor, Hats has got some armor, so it's not the worst of rounds, actually, here for Renegades. They can definitely make this work.
Control ready from lower dark, actually, from Apoc Dud, who's going to be spotting a lot of these players, but he misses that spray a little bit. That's going to pick up the pace of Renegades right now. Soju needs to be careful. He can't really get caught out on an incursion over here. If he gets traded out right now, it could be absolutely dangerous. That's a couple of rifles now retrievable for Renegades to work with, as well as a bit of map control as well, trying to force out a bit of a rotation as well.
Yeah.
It's dangerous giving those guns over.
Yeah, these are the kind of rounds you can't afford to let fall by the wayside if you're Chiefs. Offnu, though, doing what he does best, walking up catwalk on the CT side and going aggressive, and he will clean up the round, but Chiefs have definitely taken a fair amount of economic damage off the back of that.
Indeed. This will be the first gun round, though, for Renegades. And this will be the one where Chiefs really do need to start knuckling down, ensuring that they're bringing their A game to date, because it's the gun rounds where the game is won or lost. Renegades have got a pretty good one here. Lacking a bit of util on Sicko, but aside from that, it's pretty much perfect.
Economy very resettable now for Chiefs, even though they've gone up 3-0. They've definitely dropped quite a few guns along the way. We'll have no problems taking this long control, though.
One thing that I wanted to note, that's a huge risk from Chiefs actually crossing mid doors, but that holds onto a smoke that they can use later on in B. They are in here for the long game for this round, and so are Renegades. It's just a slow, steady default at the moment. See what they can find and pick off.
Yeah. Might not be able to play that long round if you get gapped by Sicko, or if you get caught by ins walking across those doors. And it's still going to be a man advantage for the Renegades, and they're getting a fair amount of map control now. Apoc Dud trying to walk up catwalk, trying to take matters into his own hands to get that man advantage back.
Nope, I think he's just gone down just like that. Was unable to find the pick. That's the A site. Found and taken.
Yeah. Probably going to have to be the saves from here from Chiefs. Not really much they can do. Not really in positions to contest long, and you do see them posturing defensively towards that B ramp.
One player down. Huge numbers advantage for Renegades. Plenty of counter util for them if Chiefs do decide to go for the retake. So I don't see this one going the way of Chiefs, and it seems that they would agree with me, as they've just decided to back off and try and save their guns. Soju gets behind Hats. That's a nice pickup, but relatively little of a problem for the Renegades.
Yeah, very, very swift first gun round. Chiefs can't afford to be dropping these rifles, as they can't really afford to replace them. As for Renegades, they don't have a whole lot of cash built up either, so no real incentive for them to hunt, which is why you're not seeing them, you know, thirsting for those kills. But end of the day, just the 2 rifles taken over for Chiefs there, and we will have a pause. As you can see, Inns is actually not on the Chiefs. Probably means they've dropped one of these players out of the server.
Yep,
Inns
APOC
was.
died. Don't know, maybe you ask him to open the wardrobe and just pull it out his Ethernet.
Yeah, that's
Done
very
and dirty.
possible. Sorry, mate.
So Renegades already nice, I mean, taking the first gun round pretty convincingly there, was able just to punish a little bit of aggression
Yes.
from Backside trying to cross over from that smoke. Inns was boosted up, but that really only works once. So how are Renegades going to go once Chiefs, if that AWP is able to, you know, come online, gets up and running?
I think that's one of the better rounds to get a kill like that, though. Not really too much to read into for Chiefs, unfortunately. Just got to be careful crossing the doors next time. And they will have to just... Oh, I thought they were actually going to save around that rifle, but instead forcing up. Going to grab an MP9, and Offnu's going to go P250. Soju gets legged on the cross there. They did actually invest the smoke this time, Kev, but they still get tagged on the cross, so I guess maybe better to not do that. Molotov's getting invested into long here. Put out nicely as Renegades looking to contest.
Already a pick that goes their way, and there was the grenade earlier on. They've also traded down here on long, so overall working out quite nicely for Renegades, who have, with the information gathered on long, elected to just book it up short. Inns is trying to hold on as long as possible, but will fall to Vexite, so that's at least a trade back down to even numbers for Chiefs, but it has allowed Renegades that time to get into the site and plant the bomb.
Retake being attempted by Chiefs, running up long here.
Got the kit to work with. Zeph also coming up from CT is going to enable that flashbang, but Sicko, as the rest of the Renegades, are going to be posted up at the short position. Out comes across at the moment. Very difficult shot for him to land, but he's going to drop a Molotov on the bomb to buy a little bit more time. Still, another volley for Hats to use as well, and that should be enough time bought. Someone needs to stick eventually on the plan. As there's a couple of successful trades, Hats doesn't have the Molotov that he can really drop, just needs to challenge the angle, and he will be able to find the pick as well through the edge of the smoke as well. It was Zeph not really coming over the challenge, and that is a great spray coming out from Hats, who's able to at least recover the situation for Renegades. That was a nice attempt from Chiefs, but unfortunately the cover just wasn't there. Hats better off with the shots, and now the economy is a bit broke for the CTs. They're going to have to go on the eco.
Yeah, that's Renegades taking the lead here, essentially. They're going to even up that scoreline, build themselves up a little bit of cash, should they have a good anti-eco here, and be able to continue their way through this T half. Things get a whole lot more difficult on that T side when you allow the CT economy to build up. All of a sudden, you're playing into full belts of utility, playing into the double AWPs. But not this time for the Renegades. Things are going to be a little easier for them, at least initially, until that loss bonus potentially starts to build up, or Chiefs start to string more rounds together than they have been able to.
Well, just the USPs for Chiefs, so they're going to be feeling pretty sad about this round. Renegades are not giving them anything too easy here, making sure that they've given the respect to the Chiefs that they deserve. At the very least, APOC will take an initial challenge, and here comes the rest of Chiefs.
That's the bomb.
That's worked quite nicely, actually. Good little bait and switch from Chiefs.
But AWP's not retrievable, so I guess it's... I was about to say that could have been a bit disastrous with the bomb lost out there, but not enough weapons really retrievable for the Chiefs really to work with. So Renegades will be able to just make do. Offnu, though, giving it a good crack at this stage. Really just doing some damage right now. Looking to make this costly. He's going to be charging straight through that smoke, but Inns should be able to cover this off.
Nicely done. Flash just to push him off of the angle, and Malta holds it down with the AWP. Bit of an expensive round there for the boys on Renegades, but they do get it across the line. Now the buy-in from Chiefs, and following your your storyline there, Kev. Who's doing his thing on Dust2? Fragging up a storm, man.
Pretty important, the A-site players are the ones that are putting the damage on, especially Renegade's going to be testing that out a lot. Really now it's down to APOC Dud though. Really needs to be able to hold on and transition correctly, otherwise Renegades have been showing themselves the ability to kind of exploit this A-site. Finding the pincer maneuver at the right time.
Yeah, they're playing that slow T-side style on Dust2 that they were playing against Order in that DreamHack final, if you remember, Jordan. It's really taking their time, moving through the map, holding all of the extremities, waiting to punish aggression before they choose to go and take map control in the mid-round.
Dexter is going to have a bit of a peek in towards mid, but doesn't see too much. Chiefs have been making these rounds reasonably close, so Renegades don't actually have a wealth of money in their back pocket at the moment. Again, of course, neither does Chiefs. Both teams hanging on to a little bit of utility into the mid-round, into the later stages of the round, and Chiefs are going to hope to use that to stop any contest on the site. But Malta dropping pretty early on in the piece, just wasn't expecting Offno to be peeking mid.
Yeah. I think he's pretending that he's playing against Fnatic at IM Sydney. Just going aggro, peeking up mid, peeking up catwalk.
Out comes B split. Should I say, just a utility thrown for now to threaten this B split, but often is in the position to kind of contain this, and still two defenders over here on the B side as well. Zeph does a lot of damage to the edge of the smoke. You can't crawl out against that, and that is just really the influence coming out from Offnu nice and early on.
Round's not over.
Yeah, round's not over just yet. Inns and Sicko, always dangerous. Soju dancing, trying to fight. All come out on top though. As he goes, oh no, but no, it's actually Offnu. Oh my goodness.
Robbed him.
Offnu snaked him so hard just there.
It's a bit cheeky from Soju, but you like seeing that nice and early on. That's a good round for Chiefs. That's a full gun round that they took.
Why has he done him like that?
Making the org work. Something we saw actually Jacob from 100 Thieves doing the other day on that B site of Dust2. Also using the org to some pretty good proficiency.
Yeah.
Old mate Xiao Saga over there in China loves a bit of org gameplay as well, even sometimes more than he loves actually buying grenades, which it's seeming like Offnu also does. CT side pretty broke.
Just tearing out your hair internally.
I just really like grenades, Jordan. What can I say?
How about Deagles? How about that?
That's pretty good. Offnu's farming, man. Nice player.
This is a big round. I was about to say, it would have been huge if Offnu was able to stay alive, but Chiefs just hold on. 4 guns alive. You'll be cheering for their economy, not for Offnu.
That's fantastic.
No nades for him once again.
I mean,
he's been dropped this time.
I would rather him not buy nades at the moment with how he's aiming at pushing around the place, fighting duels. What's he need him for? Just W and mouse 1. That's all this man needs.
It's not even W and mouse 1. It's just nice angle,
yeah,
playing around with the information. Yeah. Really just making it difficult for Renegades to get map control right now.
It is, yeah. And that's something you don't see too much in this region, is people actually actively try to disrupt Renegades and not give them respect.
Side. Almost looks for the double there, to be honest, but he didn't quite manage it. Still, good trade comes in from Offnu, who continues to have impact in these rounds. It seems that wherever he is where Renegades are pushing. He's all over the place. He's been in mid, he's been on long, and Renegades keep running into him, and it's a bit of a brick wall, to be honest. Now Dexter, being a bit sneaky through that smoke, is going to catch the better of Soju, but wasn't expecting Zeph on the bomb site as well. So the rest of the Renegades roster, that being Malta and Sicko, are going to have to do it themselves.
Ooh, Offnu, don't think he realizes Sicko's over there. That's actually the A site completely opened up, so I think Chiefs were definitely expecting Renegades to kind of go there.
Wow.
It's actually caught Zeph off rotation. He has to cross against the Yorpa Sicko. Flashbang comes out.
This is a superb mid-round from Renegades, which is what they do best. Throw that flash towards the B site and then reroute back towards middle. Catch the rotation, now onto the A site. Trying to run this crossfire between site and long.
It's a tough one for Zeph to make work, although he might find the time and get past Sicko and catch Malta. He doesn't. Sicko was watching over the top of the smoke, and that'll be a round again for Renegades. One that's probably enough to reset Chiefs' economy. You've got Apoc Dud down there pretty low. Zeph's also quite low. Same for Offnu. It's only Soju and Vexite that can really afford a proper buy in this round, so things are a bit weird, a bit awkward for that CT side.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but I was going to say, you know that one map?
That's order.
That was Chiefs, wasn't it?
No, it's order.
Are we looking... Because I remember Chiefs did
Depends
beat them
how far back you're going, yeah. Actually, I think Order beat them in Pal Summer. I remember Chiefs also did beat them when Apoc Dud dropped like 25. Do you remember, Jordan?
I don't remember exactly what
I think it was
that
the first stream.
Let's be real, they all blend together.
What do you mean? They're
It's
they're very distinctly different tournaments,
One
Jordan.
long-
I don't know how you could think that.
It's 1 year long tournament that is the same thing, but with a different name every time.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
like
kinda,
splits.
I'm kind of jealous of PAL, to be honest. Like these 4-team tournaments, I would just like to see, 6 to 8 teams.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
It's kind of like ANZ CS split 1, ANZ CS split 2, ANZ CS split 3, ANZ CS split 4.
It is.
It's just the same teams every time.
Not every time.
Most of the time.
Chiefs and Rooster.
Yeah.
Swapping in and out of there.
Interchangeable though, let's be real.
Sometimes Ground Zero.
Maybe Paradox as well.
As far as the
Yeah.
results are concerned, it doesn't make a difference which team it is.
Why
Renegades
is that,
just
Jordan?
wins.
Why is that,
Because
Jordan?
Renegades just wins.
What do we got to do to stop them at this point? What's your strategy?
Send
Kill
them, ship them
ins.
overseas. They might start losing then.
True, true.
Well, just a full eco coming out from Chiefs, being very responsible with their money as we come into the latter stages of the first half.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of fighting back and forth. I have to say, I'm enjoying the aggression from Offnu. Really seems to not be giving the Renegades very much respect. And, as far as this one is going, one more jink goes quite nicely for Zeph there. He does
Dexter.
take an extra gun off of Dexter.
He's not going to be happy with himself.
He only had a Tech 9.
Maybe his kid got in the way, just started bashing on the keyboard or something. Sort of threw off the aim a bit. It's pretty hard being a dad playing CS these days in ANZ.
It is, yeah.
Salaries aren't that high, so I can really appreciate it.
Yeah, he went down. I actually noticed since the birth of his child, he went down from like a 1.4 rating to like a 1.2 rating.
That's what
so
happens,
not really
man.
acceptable.
It's probably
to be
not
honest.
sleeping well enough, that kind of thing.
Only a 1.2 rating consistent,
Had to
Oh.
give up his career in accounting as well to play CS. Actually not too bad of a job by Zeph. He's taken a couple more guns away from Renegades than you might have anticipated he would, but end of the day, it's still fine. It's a round for Renegades. They are on the T side, so economic woes aren't something that are going to roll around the ladder.
Double AWP now for Chiefs with that full util. Who is their secondary AWPer? Going to be Apoc Dud and Zeph.
Sabby Zeph is his secondary AWPer.
Yeah, I'm not sure I rate that, to be honest. Although I have seen Zeph from time to time have some good rounds with heal. I don't know necessarily if Chiefs have a great secondary AWP candidate. Let's see if Zeph can prove us wrong. Early exchange goes nicely for Chiefs as they don't lose that pick on long and they secure the long control, and Renegades will have to reroute back towards middle or cap.
Oh, dangerous angle, and you're saying that you're not rating Zeph as a secondary AWPer.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Did Sicko have armor
Ooh,
just
another
now?
tag.
But Dexter's better.
Always finds the timing, this man.
Dangerous now for Soju. No utility really to hold onto this B site. And the Chiefs kind of locked away from the rotation at this moment. You can't really go into mid without thinking that Dexter might be there.
Here's the issue though. Soju's got no util, man. And he's out on an island on that B site, not a rotation in sight. It is multi-frag or loose around here for Soju.
Dexter's been found, but he's just a little bit sharper. Offnu drops this time. And speaking of multi-frags, there's 2 already for Soju. Malta is low on HP.
They're both low. He might just 4K it here.
That's a big, crucial hold. He's still jiggling his box.
Oh,
but
no.
he just can't find the peak.
That's not what you want at all. That gives Renegades a chance in this round. Apoc Dud's close, spamming through the smoke, doesn't hit the shot. Vexite with the FAMAS.
All the molly.
All it takes is a single tick if he's able to land it, but they can't really go for the plant at the moment. The smoke's going to fade eventually. Or if that spreads even just a lick, Dexter's going to go down, but he's going to survive.
Malta, the secondary AWP from ages past for Greyhound, has found a couple of frags in this round with the gun, and now he's into the one-on-one against Vexite. He'll just book it back into upper tunnels, which is a smart move.
Yeah, these guys have some pretty good bets on Twitter, so I'm expecting some wins in the chat. Whoever wins it. Actually, not a great plant for Malta.
No.
Nicely done by Vexite. Good job tapping the bomb, repositions with that Famis and secures that kill.
Gets the AWP afterwards as well. Should have enough time. That's a nicely played 2v2 from Chiefs. That's really just down to Soju able to lock down the B side.
Shouldn't have been allowed to get away with that. Renegades not really as on point and snappy with the trades as usual.
And Renegades, I mean, this is the case where you look at Zeph and the damage done with just the USB so far from the Chiefs has honestly helped them so much in the CT side. Renegades, even with the bomb plant there, it's not looking too crash hot in terms of all their economy. They have to go down to pistols, which is pretty good for Chiefs if they're able to hold on, because their economy isn't in a great steady ship at the moment either. And it is going to be a test to the B site once again. Blocks doing a bit of work at the moment. Zeph needs to hold on. Eventually, Dexter's the last man left standing. I don't really think he can get the plant down. Has to go for the challenge.
Yeah, it's decent damage. Just a handful of pistols for Renegades. Not really much in that round, but they do take 2 guns off the CT side. Just going to keep things nice and expensive. Chiefs now getting into the lead. Can they maintain that lead as Renegades heading to yet another bye?
Chiefs definitely coming into their own a little bit on this CT side. But can never rest on your laurels. Renegades this time are going to go quick, and Soju was not expecting that at all. Zeph at least is good enough to trade one down, and Malta can't get APOC done as he falls off of short. It's still an interesting prospect there from Renegades. They've just thrown a curveball in, haven't they? Gone quickly and bashed the door open on the B bomb site.
Bit of a misposition there from Chiefs, unfortunately. Pretty much loses them that round. Could have been a freebie for Mr. Zeph. They are actually going to still try to attempt this retake 3-on-4.
Site, the entry. Say entry, they're on the retake really, and Offnu able to double down. They know now where Sicko is, and he's going to have to fight to get this win, but he won't. Just misses the shot. Offnu continues to put in that solid work.
He's 18 and 8 at the moment against Renegades.
He's playing like he's 18, mate. Fragging up a storm.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying second wind. I think the stats don't really lie. It's once again, it's like Avant. You saw he was like kind of 0.9 rating consistently there towards the end of his tenure there. Now he's putting on an absolute show right now against Renegades, which is not an easy thing to do. All of Chiefs really playing a bit of their role at this stage, where small mistakes aren't really being punished, and it's actually forcing Renegades to take attack timeout. Chiefs have won the half on the CT side.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. You're looking at Renegades, they probably have to half buy here, pistols, armor, and util. Unless they want to go down to like Galils or something like that. Chiefs have done a good job on that CT side, not going to deny it at all, Kev. I think they put themselves in with a good shot to close this map, but how will they go on their T side?
Yeah, I mean, Renegades, to be fair, are not too shabby on CT of Dust2 as well, so it's not like, oh, well, Renegades needs to get X or Y on T here. I think it doesn't necessarily matter what side of the map they're on. They can still win from either side.
We've seen them get 32'd and then win the map,
yeah.
So...
I'm not going to draw any conclusions until I see 16 on the board for the Chiefs.
I'd say if I didn't see the name tags of the teams, I'd say that Chiefs were doing quite well in this game, and I probably would feel pretty confident about them heading into the next half and winning if I knew they had a solid T side. So, can at least say that. They're doing a good job here. Let's see if they can actually convert, though.
It's always the thing, isn't it? Well, it's again pistols for the Renegades, and the majority of them don't have too much armor, though Dexter and Hats had a little bit more to invest. This is going to be a very nice grenade that'll do a lot of damage, and it does. Still, it's the go signal for Renegades, and they'll work their way out onto the bomb site, immediately caught by a flashbang, and then the crossfire of Offnu and APOC Dud. And while APOC Dud misses a couple of shots, Offnu's there to clean things up, so no harm at all for
What?
Chiefs.
He's
He's
20
20
bombed.
bombing
Yeah, he's
against
20 bombed a half.
Renegades. On the
That's-
CT side.
That's classic off new on Dust2, dude.
It's probably, I would say it's his best map.
Yeah.
I just
Even just go look at the ANZ Champs bumper. Off new.
He's going to get 2
He's going to get 2 now and 3 as well.
with the AK.
Something like that.
He hasn't even got the AK this time. He's got the AUG and he's doing it.
The OK.
Last round of the half. Sicko, no utility.
See if Chiefs can dig their heels in and get those double digits. APOC looking for the boost, which often does catch people off pushing up catwalk. Oh, not this time. HE nades good as ever from Renegades. Probably have some of the better utility damage in the region. Nexstar gets flashed out middle, has a little look around, doesn't see a whole lot. I think Renegades, you've seen them posture towards long because they haven't really heard any utility over in this part of the map. They're hearing utility over towards short. Should be well aware it's a short setup. So Renegades now going to throw the progression utility into B, courtesy of Hats, as well as that jump throw mid to B smoke from long Hut. And in the meanwhile, they're going to push out long and try to split this A site. So Dexter really selling the fact that it's a mid to B. This is actually a very well constructed round from Renegades. They're going to have that long control. They're going to see if they can potentially contest Catwalk and take that. The rotations come out from Chiefs. They are 100% sold on this. They've double dropped into CT. In the meanwhile, it's only Vexside on this A site, and he might just get picked for free. That's the A site gone.
Yep,
Renegades. Oh my god, they just challenged Kev. They don't even put the smokes down. They just say, we're going to shoot you in the back. And they do just that. Hats. He's caught Soju on the rotation from what looked like a good start to the round for Chiefs. It's really just fallen apart, hasn't it? Now Zeph requires the 1-on-4, and he's gotten rid of 1 out of 4. But still, chances of this round have very much slipped away.
Has to push through a smoke into 3 guns and AWP and 2 AKs. Not a tantalizing prospect going into the half.
That'll be that. Sicko finishes it off without too much fanfare. 6 on the T side for Renegades and 9 for Chiefs. It's not a bad first half. Could still go either way.
I've been so anti. Yeah, you're a bad chick and you know that. Eyes roll back every time you throw that. Love letter on your bed, I wrote that. I need you and I'm not afraid to show that. I could buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. Buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. My world falls down when you pick me up. I came up from a small town, no one hit me up. Now they wanna be my friend. Everybody play pretend. But now I'm pulling up in a Bentley. There really ain't shit you can tell me. What? I just wish somebody would help me. This lifestyle is not healthy. I could buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. Buy you anything, anything on your everything. I could buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. She's a God girl, welcome to my God's world. Fell in love with the diamonds and pearls. Yeah, we do what we want when we want. Sex faith with the new Saint Laurent. Party too lit, get kicked out. All alone, that's the only way to live now. Yeah, we do what we want when we want. I'ma get you anything that you want. I could buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. Buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. Yeah, I could buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. Buy you anything, anything on your everything. I could buy you anything, anything on your
Into the second half, Chiefs already starting well in this series against Renegades. They get 9 on their CT side, and well, Kevin Pilsky seem reasonably happy with that. Would I go so far as to say you think Dust2 is going to be their map?
Still have to put a lot of hard yards in before they take it. It's not a case of... They've done a lot of good work on the CT side to get ahead, but it all comes down to how well they can take some of these, or if they can take the pistol round, how well they can fare against the anti-ecos, if they can exploit any weaknesses in the Renegade setup. That's always going to be the tricky thing to do. It is going to be a B-site attack, and Hats is going to be tasked with defending it with Dexter.
Well, he's pretty sharp, generally speaking, and so is Dexter. So far, 1 for 2, but Hats is under extreme amounts of pressure and won't last too much longer once Dexter drops. So, not a bad entry from Chiefs, but Inns is very quick into the bomb site as well. Caught in a massive crossfire, though. And not many of those Chiefs players were affected by that flash, so Inns falls to his death. Now it's on to Sicko and Malta. Sicko will lose his head. Malta in the 1-on-2.
Senator pushes out to challenge the angle. Apocta doesn't have armor though, but he's able to get the trade in time. So, bomb plant doesn't go down, but Chiefs, that's 2 pistol rounds won in this half. Or this game, should I say, not this half. That's already a nice little start to their campaign. Whereas for Renegades, it's going to be a choice. They actually invest up here, and the fact that Malta's bought body armor, I think, means that Renegades wants to challenge with the force buy.
Let's see if they can. It would be the second time that Renegades have forced up post losing the pistol, both of which I think Chiefs have taken, if my memory serves correctly. Up to see if anyone is peeking short there, aided by the flash from Ofnu. And Chiefs clear out that short position, at least deep into catwalk, but there is a 2-man setup between Malta and Inns here in the meanwhile. Chiefs just working their way through the map slowly, trying to use that utility to minimize risk, flash out middle, push Dexter. He actually stays and spams and gets picked for free there, so that gives Chiefs a nice man advantage.
Won't give them too much map control yet, though. So they'll still have to work their way into mid if that's where they're going to end up going.
There's a bunch of trades that's happening for the Chiefs at the moment. Sicko, well, I mean, I guess Vexite's going to go down and he was tagged down nice and early on, but that's only really a Mac 10 at the end of the day. And really, that's the bulk of the danger that has been avoided by the Chiefs. They've done a lot of good, lots of good utility just to flush out the corridors, to make sure there's no risk when peeking these angles. Members there to crossfire, trade out when it's needed, and there you have it. Anti-eco successful. That's how you take it in the Australia region.
Nicely done. Renegades will hold on to these 2 Deagles to continue trying to do damage to that T-side economy, but I'd say so far so good for Chiefs. Only incurring 1 loss. Will keep their economy nice and strong on this T-side, and they start the streak ahead, going up 11-6. That's going to actually put a fair amount of pressure on Renegades. I think coming back on the CT side is always difficult just due to the nature of the economy. And although Renegades will be able to get a very nice buy in the next round, and often do win a lot of force buys and things like that to give themselves extra chances at winning games, I'd say that from this position, Chiefs are quite favoured.
have to do some pretty hard work, I'd say, to get back into this map, but they're generally pretty used to that, so see how much further Chiefs can push this and whether or not Renegades are actually going to get the ball rolling on Dust2, because I don't really feel like they have yet. APOC Dud deals with Dexter fine. There's not going to be too much excitement in this round, one would imagine, unless Renegades, probably Malta, the player with the armor and the deagle, or Hats, get a little bit of work done. They're going to go together, and APOC Dud actually runs back into Ins.
Not the end of the world, though. That's 3 CTs being spotted out at the very least. He knows that, well, for Chiefs, they know now, all right, we lost to Mac 10, but we know exactly where the rest of the members are. And it's all about just holding on to weapons from this point and just playing peekaboo. As the aim of the game right now is just to hold on to as many 8K47s. The fact they haven't lost any of these rifling players, it's only really a Mac 10 that's been dropped down a couple of times. Chiefs' economy is going to be really good heading up to a 12-6 lead. The Renegades now have to dig quite deeply, because all Chiefs really need to do is maybe take a long rush successfully, maybe a short rush, reset the economy, and that's it. The game's done and dusted. So, and we'll be heading on to Vertigo with Chiefs actually up 1-0. That said, you're correct. It's not 16 yet. And you can never count Renegades out.
Can never count Renegades out, that's right. Ins has an AUG, Hats has an AUG. What is it about the AUG today? Everyone seems to be picking that up. Dexter yet to buy. Oh my god! I was going to say, I feel sure Dexter's going to go for an M4.
We're back in 2018 yet? Was it 2017 that the AUG meta was kind of just floating around the stage?
I can't remember. I think it was 2018. Might be wrong though. Very, very quick catwalk control from Chiefs. In fact, they just pick up the pace there. Luckily, they do pump the brakes though. Vexite was getting real keen to push up catwalk very quickly, but Sicko was already posted on the line, so a little bit of restraint goes a long way for Chiefs due to the fact that they likely would have lost the man advantage. Now that they do have that catwalk control though, they're starting to size up long a little bit. Ofnu and Soju looking to try to apply pressure to Malta and catch Sicko on the timing where he's not posted on this long door. APOC Dart actually ready there with the smoke fading closer to Ofnu. That gives him the advantage in that fight, and now they're pressuring Malta as well.
Good trades, though, coming out from Renegades as they're able to double down, and they actually have the numerical lead at this stage. In's going to be trying to play around the smoke, trying to get the better of APOC Dud, and I think he just might have. The spray's gone a little bit shaky there. But at the end of the day, Vexite just with a Mac 10 bomb all the way over it long. Renegades will be able to pick up that buy around 3 rifles alive as well with the AWP, which is going to be absolutely crucial moving forward, but Chiefs have the money to reinvest. Double up now in play for Renegades as well. Dexter, this is the dangerous part now for Chiefs, as Dexter, it feels like whenever he's got the AWP in play, he's really just the linchpin looking to do damage. Chiefs angling maybe to a bit of a faster B site take.
Yeah, Dexter's quite proficient on that second AWP, on this map in particular. Yeah, Chiefs are just going to go straight into B.
Lots of flashbangs blinding everyone out, but Dexter and Hat still able to find the windows of opportunity, especially Dexter dancing around. But now APOC Dud and Zeph need to step up big with these rifles. That HE grenade goes a little bit straight and actually cops the side of Ins and actually puts him down into the 3-bullet spray range. Zeph just trying to cross over the threshold. These smokes go quite deep at the moment.
2-on-3 though, not going to be easy for Chiefs to hold on here still. APOC Dud looks like he might try to get something done off the contact of Zeph, which he will be able to do, and he catches Sicko's head as well. Chiefs, they get their 13th, and Renegades, they just can't seem to buy around.
Little cheeky smile on Tom's face right now. That's a big round for the Chiefs to win, because the economy of Renegades is down to a bit of a precarious position. Jesus, last 3 months, 1.33 rating. It really is his playground.
Gamer. Chiefs, while they're ahead, are going to take that tack timeout. They want to make sure they lock down this map victory. Be able to secure it for themselves before they give Renegades a chance to come back. And it's quite difficult for any team to come back from the position that Renegades is in, actually. CT side comebacks They're so difficult.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Give 'em a
First
bit of a
story was
challenge.
believable. Second story, I don't know. I think this is just Chiefs. They're testing Renegades, and Renegades so far found a bit wanting in some of the rounds where the impact is made a 3v2 retake, or you look at Chiefs earlier where they're able to get the retakes across. It's not easy for them to do this, right? They're in good form at the moment. The confidence to go in against a lineup like Renegades and to really assert their dominance.
Oh.
That said, though, Dexter, that's called dominance
Yep,
for the
that's
scout.
definitely not a bad start to the round for Renegades, but they're going to need a little bit more of that to actually win it.
But that's a good
And
start.
there you go. Malta can take a bow as well.
And now this is the position where, as the Chiefs, you didn't want to be in, losing 2 picks on the extremities, weapons retrievable, or well, at least 1 AK retrievable for Renegades. Now the walk contact play.
That's really good stuff. Dexter's going to be able to chime in with a couple more. And Chiefs, they're just letting this round slip away. And you kind of get the sense that maybe this is the round that Renegades have kind of been waiting for. I wonder whether or not everything that we've been sort of saying is going to be leading into a round like this, right? Because I almost think people, when they listen to us talk about Renegades, go, oh, these guys are talking about this again. Like, can't you just give Chiefs some credit? They're winning this game. It's like, yes, they are winning this game. But too often you see Renegades win a round like the one that they're about to win right now and win the match there. So that's what I want to ensure. That's what I want to see from Chiefs. That they make sure that doesn't happen. That, yes, they're going to lose this round. That's fine. Okay, it's acceptable. It's not the end of the world. They're up 13-8. But they have to make sure it's just this one round, or maybe the 2 rounds, because now they've lost their economy bonus. But don't let this snowball into something where Renegades go on to then win the match.
I feel like this is like the classic. I mean, how many times have we seen Renegades where it's a classic, we're losing at the moment? Dexter gets like 2 or 3 rounds where he gets 3 kills, or maybe even just 2 very impactful kills. Renegades go on to win those rounds. They start struggling back, building up their economy. All of a sudden, the scoreline's 13 apiece. And Chiefs are kind of in a position where, hang on a moment, how do we actually crack open this defense? So they're actually forced to take a bit of a half buy, or
Oh, it's a
they're forcing up.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a force up. They've actually bought down to whatever they have left remaining. If it doesn't work for them, that's the way back in for Renegades. But if it does work, it's going to be huge for the Chiefs right now. It is going to be a test over the short A area. It is going to be the challenge into Sicko and Ins. They still got utility to use, which is going to be absolutely influential.
Got the smoke at the perfect time. Counter flash in from Sicko to be able to hold the pistol players back. And it does actually segment the push quite nicely.
Still no frag though from
no.
Renegades, and that might not be good news for them. Perhaps they're going to lose the round, very similar to the fashion in which they have just won one against the pistols only. Offnu's also chimed in with a frag. Dexter now trying to lead the retake in here, and he's missed a few shots
Oh my
too.
god, the Deagles!
It's happening. I guess that makes amends for the last round, doesn't it?
Yep. What a way to do it. Just a couple of missed shots from Renegades. They're able to exploit just on the basic short default. They land their shots. They pick off Renegades individually. And now Hats fighting to stay alive and survive.
Don't encourage them, Jordan. Don't encourage them to keep force buying pistols, okay?
Well, I don't even know, Pilsy. I've had 3 weeks of NAE UCS, and we're back in ANZ. First game, back-to-back force buy wins.
But it wasn't... Okay, so Renegades, that was some individual brilliance that got them across the line with their force buy.
Yep.
They were able to pick off the bait and switch tactic mid. What Chiefs did there, it was a game plan. They went for that short execute. They didn't take that much utility damage. They found the window of timing they needed to, and then they backed it up with a couple of knife shots. Didn't overextend, didn't get blood hungry, and now they've been rewarded in this position where they've reset, I would say reset the CT economy. Shouldn't say that. There's still guns, obviously, for Renegades to play with, but they don't have anything in the reserves.
Well, Zach pause for Renegades. Going to have a bit of a chat about this one. Where do we go from here? We're down 6 rounds, 14-8. Chiefs getting close.
Yeah, they're forcing up. They do have 4 rifles to their disposal. Still got that AWP, or is that a scout? No? Oh. And look, Chiefs, they're threatening to get into the game here, but their economy is still not great. So still in a position where Renegades can actually try to test the waters a little bit, maybe win a round or two, reset that economy, start closing that round lead that Chiefs have gotten themselves. But I'd say all signs pointing towards Chiefs picking this first map up. They're performing pretty well. And I'm very scared they're actually going to get the upset here, because we might have to start giving APOC Dud some props.
Long fight that's going to be coming out. It's going to be coming out on top 4 Renegades at the moment, as Chiefs unable to really nullify anything. But Dexter missing a few shots here. Maybe giving APOC Dud a little bit of a chance, but he turns away at the wrong time. He doesn't expect Dexter to continually challenge the angle. So Renegades just kind of just winning the long fight and putting a bit of a spanner in the works just to take this round.
Yeah, done a pretty good job so far. Ofnu can continue to make it expensive, though. He's been quite sharp today.
It's definitely fallen off on that T half, though. Much more impactful on the CT side, and really on the T side, you're looking at APOC Dud has, I would say, really stepped it up so far. Vex side obviously having a pretty good showing. This is the first time that he's been playing in the big leagues. Now he's turned 16. Seen him a couple of times beforehand, but this is not a bad showing so far. A couple of nice entry kills against Renegades is always a good way to start off everything.
Yeah. Molotovs go in here. Hats. Oh, he's hoping that doesn't spread, and it looks like he might just be okay. They're going to think this corner is clear. Whether or not that impacts the round does depend on if Chiefs go toward B, but they don't have that much time, and they're probably going to have to now. Stuck behind a smoke at the moment.
Yeah, they're locked in by Malta, who's at top mid as well.
Moved off, and this is a big rotation across from Renegades. This should not be around at all for Chiefs. Who's dropping, so is Vexite, and that's 14-9. So Renegades, they salvage another one back, and Chiefs' money is not looking all that crash hot at the moment.
Might be tempted to go for another force buy. I don't know about your thoughts here, Mitch.
Yeah, 1,600, 1,500. They don't have a whole lot of loss bonus behind them. Unless they get a couple bomb plants, it's going to be quite hard for Vexite and whoever else it was to potentially buy up.
There you are. 8 flash assists coming out from APOC Dud. Actually an eco coming out, so a couple of 12-1 Deagle and 1 P250 in play with the Glocks.
I think you're looking at someone like Soju. I think he's only going to have like just over 3k next round, so if I'm reading the money correctly, which is not really ideal to go for a buy on that T side. Renegades building up quite a bit of cash now. Sitting, 2 to 3k in the bank on most of their players.
This is just a nice little spray down from Inns. Picks up the ace. Doesn't drop a weapon for Renegades. So gives them at least a bit of a boost in the bank. And now they should be comfortable for the rest of the half. I say comfortable because if they drop 2 rounds in a row, that's pretty much it.
If Mac was here, he would have really loved that. He loves spray downs on the anti-eco. It's his favourite. Always just keeps hyping it up.
Happy little smile there from Inns as he's able to put a couple of extra numbers on the board, but out comes a bit more of a pistol buy. Actually, it's Vexite that's challenging along by himself on the back of some flashbangs. Now Inns starting to really pick up the pace right now to get a few of these spray downs. Dexter with the assist and utility. So Chiefs trying to do a bit of damage.
Yeah, Chiefs do once again take another save, so just going for damage, but not finding any just yet. Here's the cross smokes in from the Chiefs. That's the last flashbang they will have access to just to get them around this corner. Can they make it to the site though?
I think there's too many holes in the gaps at the moment. They are going to try and cross, but there's so many people over here where it feels like, hang on a second, I'm about to say that. The Deagle from Vexite doing work though. Ooh, nearly clips on the head as well. That is quite expensive for Renegades. That was a bit of nice action coming out from the pistols at the end there for Chiefs. Definitely making it exciting.
Okay, into this buy round now. Let's sort of try to take a look at the game state here. You do have a lot of money on Renegades. They are trailing 3 rounds. Chiefs' economy hasn't built up yet. They have contested long control here. Vexite unfortunately pulls his molly out, hits the wrong key at the wrong time. I'm sure if he kept spraying, he would have actually won that aim duel, but not this round. Chiefs lose that man advantage, and they're going to try to consolidate it by challenging mid, where Dexter is already waiting and ready.
The question is the Molotov going to come, or is it going to be the walk contact, or maybe the flashbang out? No one's really in the position for this right now. They're actually just going to make this walk contact out, and APOC died, not going to check it in time, and Dexter, I already feel like he's done a good enough job, really, just to make this damaging and really just seal the deal in these rounds. So Chiefs now starting to lose a little bit of that acceleration, starting to lose a little bit of the lust right now, or the lust drop.
That's dealing with Zeph quite nicely, and probably gets off through here as well. Clean as a whistle, 14-12, and Renegades edge ever closer. This is what I've been talking about this whole map. You really can't give these kinds of opportunities to Renegades too often, because eventually they're going to take hold of one, and they did miss out on one of them. Let's be real. Chiefs bounced back very quickly after losing that force buy from Renegades, but Renegades have stabilized once again. Their money's looking good. They've won a few rounds in a row now. Chiefs are sort of economically reset again, and the difference is now only 2 rounds, soon to be likely only 1 round.
Starting to catch up quite a bit. All it's going to take is a couple of these good rounds out of the Chiefs, though. They've shown a propensity to throw quite a few of them. Quite a few flashes in this round. If they do take that catwalk control, get a smoke in the right position, potentially could layer those flashes nicely to try to get across to the site. But instead for Chiefs, it just seems like they're looking to walk out, find some timings with these deagles, try to get a key pick and then go accordingly from there. So regroup towards long, actually. We'll see if Malta is going to be caught by one of these flash timings.
Siko's there with an assisting flashbang, but that's a nice little bit of utility. Cops a bit of a dink at the moment, but he's missing a few shots at the moment, Siko. He's doing some damage, though, at the very least, and now Malta looking to hold on at the stage, tapping away, but eventually going to be overwhelmed.
Yeah, that's a rough spot for Malta to be in, to be quite honest. Needs a bit of help. But was smoked off from the rest of his team, so he was out on a bit of an island. Anyway, here comes Chiefs working their way up long, and good effective trades coming through, in fact, on both sides. And Zeph, a double kill. Now things start to get interesting. He's got 20 seconds to cross, spots Hats, and he's going to be allowed to actually cross into the bomb site and get that plant down. Hats, he walked into mid for a moment, but he's creeping his way back on up. Zeph, not expecting that. It's a master stroke from Hats. The round will go the way of Renegades, but that was a little bit too close for comfort.
Well, retrieved, at least Renegades have built up the cash to be able to sustain economic losses of that kind. Will be quite expensive for them. And as they're on this comeback train, if they continue to have expensive rounds like that, they might actually burn through a lot of this cash as they move toward the end of the half. In combination with deteriorating that loss bonus, that's potentially a bit of a recipe for disaster. So we head towards match point. But don't know if that potential will be realized or not. As for Chiefs, no problems economically. Obviously, they have full loss bonus at this point. In combination with the bomb plants, they can buy anything that they want. They've elected not to buy an ult. Going with the 5 rifle setup this time. A lot of players running down Death Alley towards middle very quickly here.
Dexter kind of stuck in a bit of an awkward position at the moment. Definitely going to be sprayed down a little bit. He's going to try to give it as good as he's getting. But Vexite's going to find that timing over there. And already just a numbers advantage for the first time in a very long time for the Chiefs. How are they going to use this is a real question. They can't let this opportunity slip away right now.
Just keeping things simple. Double smokes towards mid there. And they are going to leave Offnu to sort of cut the map in half, try to catch those rotations, and then meanwhile contacting onto Hats.
Yeah, APOC down in Vexite, up on a bit of damage, but Hats is generally a bit of a turret on the B bomb site, and this is what I'm talking about. He's found 2 already. He'll get himself a 3rd. Vexite drops by car, and it's just Offnu who is not really able to do a whole lot, and Renegades do finally equalize. We've been heading towards this point for quite a long time. They've got there eventually, and it does now look like Renegades are going to get across the line on Dust2.
The way that Ins and the way that Hats played around Ins as flashes, and then more flashes laid in by Siko, all of them dodged perfectly. You could just tell the communication in Renegades is just so premium right there. That's what shuts down the push. Just those counter flashes ripping Chiefs apart, allowing Renegades to peek out on the right timing and being able to dismantle what should have been a pretty good approach. Now the long take for Renegades. They will secure that long control, get that smoke down. In the meanwhile, Chiefs just working their way through the map. Quite worried for them. Potentially might be running out of ideas at this point.
Bit of a push into upper tunnels there from Dexter, who spots one player out, so a bit of early info here for Renegades, and Dexter's going to continue to push forward. This is really nice for Renegades. He's going to get himself all the way into T-spawn.
I think that kind of forced Chiefs into a bit of a poor position right now, where they have to commit over to the A site instead, or maybe even a mid to B split might not be a bad idea. They are looking to go into short, but there it is. Dexter has made his presence known, announces it in a big way, and now Chiefs just scrambling all over the place. They've lost complete map control at the moment. They're trying to split mid to B, but they're just getting pressured from top mid at this time as well.
Well, they've got to do something, don't they? But if they're going to go into the B bomb site, they're still going to have to deal with Hats, who's ready and waiting for them. He knows that they're coming at this point. He's got the information from his teammates, but actually doesn't land any shots, and a quick bomb plant goes down for the T side, which leaves Renegades now the ones scrambling, particularly with that kill from Zeph. It's back to the 3-on-3. All three of the Chiefs players are a one-shot, but they're hitting one-shots of their own. It doesn't matter. Inns and Sicko will salvage it for Renegades, and they'll get themselves some match point.
Well, comebacks are well and truly on the cards at this point, and economy not really going to be a factor. Renegades still with very, very strong money.
Remember all the times that we were talking about, this is why you don't count Renegades out, this is why you have to say Chiefs have to get to 16, this is the exact reason why we say it.
It's such a cliche, man. I'm so over saying it, but it's so true.
Can we highlight Inns again? He's on 25 kills and 18 deaths. He's really popped off here.
Yeah.
I don't get the sense that we're getting overtime today, though, guys.
I think feels like Chiefs having to react a lot of the time to what Renegades is throwing at them. Whereas earlier, I feel like they were able to be a bit more assertive and do what they wanted to do, particularly on the CT side and earlier parts of the T half. But now it feels like Renegades very much sort of pushing and pulling Chiefs every which way they want to. And Chiefs kind of struggling to respond.
Zeph, the one actually with the AWP in the final round of regulation, whether it's going to be a Renegades victory, if it's going to be Chiefs taking it out top, is going to be the story yet to be told. But that's, once again, a nice start from the Chiefs, but a nice start is not enough to take the round just yet, because if they lose people like that, give opportunities to Renegades, which they'll take with welcome arms.
They got the first pick, and you could see Zeph made the conscious decision not to re-peek, and somebody's gone, no, stay on the line, and the re-peek has gone badly for Chiefs. Just second-guessing themselves, unfortunately. Now into a 4-on-4. Should be pretty good for the Ts, but it's up to Renegades to do what they do best. Navigate their way through the mid-round, find the gaps in the offense, and exploit them. The kind of pushes I'm talking about. Inns just walks into Long Hut. Got a lot of information, got a pretty advanced position. Chiefs, they're going to set up this short execute, but Renegades have a lot of map control, a lot of info. They're going to be able to start pushing. Now the execute comes in. It's going to be about Sicko trying to pick off one before they make it across to the side.
Hasn't managed to do that, but Dexter hides behind the smoke, and Soju and Ofnu have no idea. A double kill for Dexter, and that might just be the map for Renegades now. Sicko's also hit the shot on the Vex site, and poor old Zeft hanging on to the AWP. Doesn't have much of a chance anymore. He's flanked by Inns, and that's going to be that 16-14. You can celebrate now, Mitha, because that's the map for